big breaking news coming in. As we know, the tunnel rescue operations is now going up in top gear. It's going forward in top speed as high-level delegation now reaches the Silkyara rescue operations site. Principal Secretary of the Prime Minister, P.K. Mishra, Home Secretary Ajay K. Bhalla, Uttarakhand Chief Secretary S.S. Sandhu, all part of this delegation here as they've just about arrived at the rescue site. We know that the government has put every machinery possible, both local, international, in terms of advice and expertise. They've literally pushed all possible help on ground just to ensure that these workers are brought out safe. And in the latest, as we see, this rescue operation has now entered day 16, leaving family members and, of course, those trapped workers fully worried. We're looking at a high-level delegation now reaching the Silkyara rescue operation site, and that includes the Principal Secretary of the Prime Minister, P.K. Mishra, Home Secretary Ajay K. Bhalla, and Uttarakhand Chief Secretary S.S. Sandhu, who are all part of this delegation. Amit Bharadwaj is right at the location. Of course, India Today has its reporters right through this entire mission, right from day 1 to day 16. Amit Bharadwaj bringing us those ground realities there. Amit, as we know, the auger machine was stuck briefly. They managed to pull that out. It's being fixed. Manual drilling they've begun also simultaneously. And while rescue efforts are being on in full swing, we're seeing a top delegation of officers who've just arrived. How are they going to help this pace up?
Well, Nabila, the high-level delegation was expected to reach here in the morning, and they have already reached here. Prime Minister's Principal Secretary, Mr. P.K. Mishra, Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla, and Uttarakhand Chief Secretary S.S. Sandhu are part of the high-level delegation, and they have gone inside the Silkyara tunnel, where the horizontal tunnel, the rescue tunnel, is being, built by the rescuers. It's the same tunnel where the auger machine had got stuck, it got damaged, and now rat miners will be going inside in some time from now. But coming back to the high-level delegation, we know for a matter of fact that several agencies of the central government, BRO, Army, all these forces have been brought in. They have been on the ground, ensuring that every resource that is needed to bring back those 41 workers on this side of the tunnel are being made. So the point is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been tracking every detail of this rescue operation. He has been calling the Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, and now you have the top delegation coming from the central government, Prime Minister's Principal Secretary, Home Secretary being on the ground, and Chief Secretary of Uttarakhand also assisting them. So they are going to assess the ground realities as to what is the process of this entire rescue operation. What are the challenges that the rescuers are facing. So clearly the top delegation going to assess the ground situation, and then possibly they'll also report to the Prime Minister about the entire development. But this is certainly going to, number one, boost the morale of the rescuers if there are any bottlenecks, if at all. However, we are being told that all the agencies have been working in tandem, in coordination with each other. But if at all there are any bottlenecks, possibly that will be solved out as well. Any problems will be ironed out as well. And clearly this will also boost up the morale of the rescuers on the ground. Nabila.
Okay, Amit, do stay with us. Of course, lot many more updates coming in. We know the Uttarkashi rescue operation has now entered day 16. And as I did mention, we're looking at a multi-pronged approach by the rescue teams. One of the latest mechanism that they're now pushing is the vertical drilling that's currently underway. The target is to get out those trapped workers in the next 100 hours or at least 4 days in a phased out manner, so that the rescue mission itself is handled delicately and those trapped workers are safe when they are brought out, because one knows that they've been there for 2 whole weeks, 16 days. Their health conditions may have dropped. Of course, their current situation is all right and stable, but how far are they strong to actually push their way through outside that tunnel collapse site is a big question, and which is why we have ambulances all put in place. Now we know that 30 meters of the vertical drilling has already been completed successfully out of the 86 meters. We know that 700 mm wide pipes are being inserted to create this escape package for trapped workers. food pipes also that were installed, where we know that they're sending food packets constantly. Water is being going in. High protein breakfast has been prepared for them. Even this morning, those rescue workers have got eggs, bread, high protein breakfast so that they strengthen up before they're pulled out. And of course, at this point, we're looking at a couple of challenges that have come in the way of the rescue teams. One is the broken auger machine. And not broken, it got stuck, auger machine, while it was being drilled. While the drilling process was underway, it got stuck. And now, thankfully, that's been completely removed. Rescuers will also be working at least 6 hours continuously in batches. And the mission now is expected, that auger machine is expected to press at least 800 mm pipe forward next. Meanwhile, this big missile-like structure called the Kili will be assembled with rotary drill to hammer into the surface for digging the bore and a lot more.
हमारी पूरी सरकार ही नहीं, सारा देश चिंतित है जो टनल में हमारे मजदूर भाई फंसे हुए हैं। और यहाँ के मुख्यमंत्री अमित जी पूरी तरह से पूरा समय दे रहे हैं सर, और उसकी निगरानी कर रहे हैं। और साथ ही साथ जो कार्यक्रम चल रहा है इस समय टनल की खुदाई का, समीक्षा भी।
देखिए, काफी प्रयास सभी ने किया है। इसमें हमारे जो कटर हैं, काटने वाले हैं, उन्होंने आगर मशीन काट के पूरी निकाल ली है। आगे का कुछ पाइप का हिस्सा भी टेढ़ा हुआ है, वो भी नुकसान हुआ है, उसको भी काट के बाहर निकालेंगे। उसके बाद ड्रिलिंग का काम और पुशिंग का काम शुरू होगा। हम उम्मीद करते हैं कि जल्दी जल्दी ये काम पूरा होगा। एजेंसियां काम कर रही हैं। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी लगातार इनके बारे में जानकारी भी कर रहे हैं। जरूरी जो काम होने हैं उनके लिए भी लोगों को उन्होंने सबको लगाया है। पूरे देश की एजेंसियां लगी हैं, विदेशों के लोग भी लगे हैं। जल्दी से जल्दी ये काम होगा, यही आश्वस्त किया है सबको।
Meanwhile, rat miners are also ready to enter the tunnel to beef up operations and rescue the 41 trapped workers. Here's an exclusive chat filed by my colleague Amit Bharadwaj, who's right there on ground.
ये बताइए, जो प्रोसेस है पूरा आप लोगों का, अंदर जाएंगे, बड़ा कठिन परिस्थिति है, किस तरह से काम करेंगे वहाँ पे?
मतलब जो एक फावड़ा लेके जाएंगे छोटा सा, जिसके लिए एक ठेली की जरूरत पड़ेगी। ठेली के उससे मतलब तसले में रख के उसका मिट्टी आएगी बाहर निकालने के लिए। कितना
बड़ा तसला रहता होगा वो, कोई आइडिया क्या?
14 इंच का।
14 इंच का?
हाँ जी, 12 इंच का चलेगा।
अच्छा,
मतलब 800 का लाइन है। हाँ। इसलिए कोई बड़ा पाइप होता तो मतलब
बड़ा तसला ले जा सकते। तो एक बार में कितना मलबा तकरीबन आप उसमें रख पाएंगे, कोई आइडिया है अभी?
एक तसले में 6-7 किलो बनेगा। और कितना बनेगा?
6-7 किलो। तो इसमें कई घंटों का काम है। ये देख रहे हैं
हाँ।
है ना? और अंदर सांस लेने में दिक्कत होगी तो उसके लिए क्या कुछ ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर्स वगैरह जाएगा, कैसे होगा वो?
मतलब उसमें जैसे क्या कहते हैं उसको,
ऑक्सीजन सब मास्क
लगा के जाएंगे। चश्मा भी मतलब रखेगा आंख पे। हाँ। और इसके बाद एक ब्लोअर होता है जो पाइप के द्वारा हवा भी जाएगी इसके साथ साथ, ताकि
धूल ना आए। अच्छा, हवा का सर्कुलेशन बना रहे।
हाँ,
ठीक है। और साथ में मैं ये देख रहा हूँ ड्रिलर आपने रखा हुआ है, ये किस काम आएगा?
ये मतलब कोई पत्थर अगर बड़ा सा आता है मुंह पर पाइप के, तो इससे अगर टूटता है तो इससे तोड़ा जाएगा।
अच्छा, आप लोगों को क्या इसके पहले भी एक्सपीरियंस है, कहीं किया है आप लोगों ने, या पहला समय होगा जब ये काम करेंगे?
नहीं, ये काम तो हम लोग काफी सालों से कर रहे हैं। इसका एक्सपीरियंस है, हम लोग कर देंगे, इतना है तजुर्बा।
अच्छा। हाँ। तो कहाँ काम किया इसके पहले, किन जगहों पे?
दिल्ली में बहुत सारी जगह पर किए हैं, गुजरात, अहमदाबाद में भी बहुत काम किए हैं।
लेकिन ये चुनौती भरा होने वाला है, यहाँ पे सांस वास लेने की दिक्कत होगी अंदर तक।
वो तो हम अपना सेफ्टी लेके चलेंगे।
अच्छा। 6 लोगों की टीम जो जा रही है वो किस तरह से काम करेंगे? वो क्या शिफ्ट में काम होगा? कौन तोड़ेगा, कौन मलबे को खींचेगा?
इसमें 2 आदमी हम पहले जाएंगे, जो तसला भर के ट्रॉली पे रखेंगे।
ठीक है।
बाकी 4 जने खींचेंगे। अच्छा। वो थकेंगे, फिर हम लोग 2 जाएंगे, अल्टरनेट करके जाएंगे।
शिफ्ट में काम?
हाँ, शिफ्ट में काम करेंगे।
अच्छा, एक आखिरी चीज, क्या आप लोगों को भी वो लग रहा है कि 41 मजदूर 16 दिन अंदर फंसे हुए हैं, तो काम होता ही है, बाकी जगह पे करते हैं, लेकिन ये काम जब करने जा रहे हैं तो उस वक्त क्या अलग फीलिंग है?
हाँ, मजदूर है, हम भी मजदूर हैं। उनको निकालना हमारा काम है। वो आ जाए तो हमारा भी दिल भरा हो जाए।
अच्छा, तो आप लोगों को भी लग रहा है कि अपने ही भाई जैसे अंदर फंसे हुए हैं?
हम भी वर्कर है, वो भी वर्कर है। हाँ। कभी हम भी फंस जाए तो वो भी निकाल सकते हैं। बस यही है।
All right, let me cut to Amit Bharadwaj, who's spoken to them. Amit, give us more clarity on what exactly those rescue teams said. We know that there are rat miners who are also pressed into action there. So in every way, every possible help has been put in place. But it seems like the challenges are way too many, and it's also a hilly terrain. Weather conditions are quite tough. Give us more on that, on the real challenges that's being posed to the rescue teams now.
Nabila, the rat miners are actually waiting outside the tunnel right now, and possibly when the high-level delegation will be coming out of the tunnel, that's when they will be called in. So what is happening is, if you look at the structure, there's a rescue tunnel which is being created through the debris to reach to the 41 workers who have been trapped there for past 16 days. You know, we know for a matter of fact that auger machine it broke down. The blades of the auger machine was stuck in the pipeline. It ended up damaging the pipeline as well, a certain portion of the pipeline as well. And now, since yesterday up till the morning, the effort to cut that auger off the machine was going on. The blades have been taken out, and we are given to understand that the pipeline which was damaged, it has been cut into pieces, and that's being taken out as well. And that would mean that there's a complete green signal from the authorities for sending these rat miners. Now, what is rat mining? Let me just explain it to our viewers. This is basically, these men going through that tunnel, reaching out to that point where the debris is, and they will be manually taking out the debris. They'll put it in small containers which can have only 6 to 7 kgs of debris, and through a trolley it will be taken out to this side, and slowly. This is a slow process, but a very effective one, because only 10 meters is the length which we have to break through in order to reach the 41 workers who are trapped there. If there are big boulders on the way, so there's a Hilti driller which they will be using to break down those boulders into small pieces and then take it out, excavate it. But the major challenge that might appear in front of these rat miners is that, what if there are iron bars? There are possibilities of iron mesh being on the other side, iron bars, iron frames. And remember, these are very strong iron frames which have been put in place. I'll request Deepak to just focus to the crown of the tunnel. This arc that you are looking at, this is the crown of the tunnel. So the multiple layers of strong iron bars which are installed here in order to put the concrete in between, in order to make this earthquake resistant. So those are very strong iron bars, iron frames and iron mesh. So that will be cut out through gas cutters, hydraulic cutters, if at all, such a challenge comes up. So after that, the attempt will be to reach out to 10 to 12 meters of the path and then get a breakthrough. If you talk about the vertical drilling that's going on, you have already explained the entire process of the vertical drilling which is going on. But one more important point, two rather, Nabila, if we do have time, is a mini pipeline is being set up right now as well to check the terrain. There are possibilities that there could be what will happen when that drilling which is being done will hit the crown. How is it going to impact the crown? Whether further landslides will happen, number one. Number two, very important, is whether there are aquifers in the mountain range as well. If Deepak will be able to zoom in, the changes that we have seen in the past couple of days, rather today, this morning, is that the seepage of water from the this particular side of the Silkyara tunnel has, in fact increased. Yes, up till 2 days back, there was very small, a little water coming out of this mountain, this particular structure. But now, right from the hilltop up to the bottom, there are several patches where you could clearly see the water seepage has increased. Now, the experts are monitoring this situation. They don't want to end up damaging any aquifers which might be on the pathway while they are digging down, because that would mean that you are disrupting the entire aquifer, which is essentially water streams within the mountain, and that could cause further danger. Nabila.
Stay with us. Ashutosh has also brought us this report, Amit. The experts are looking into several other alternatives, as mentioned by our reporters, to create this escape route for 41 workers who are trapped inside that tunnel now for 16 days. Vertical drilling, as I mentioned, is right now underway. They've completed 30 meters of the 86 meters. My colleague Ashutosh Mishra is on that area, that site, giving us this 360-degree view on exactly what kind of rescue mission is being adopted here in Uttarkashi.
First, to give an understand exactly how the vertical drilling is happening. Consider this is the surface of the mountain, top of the tunnel. There are two drilling happening. One is a 200 millimeter dia pipe which has been inserted, and this has crossed nearly 40-45 meters, and this is giving exactly the data of the surface. The data of the surface of the mountain. Subsequently, it is also giving the data of the drilling, whether there are sections, whether there are waterways, whether there are water sources, natural water sources, or it is a concrete structure or the metal debris. So this is giving data, and according to these data, the another drilling, the distance at a 14 meter is being used through a wider pipe. The dia of this pipe is 1.2 meter, and this will be huge enough to carry out the evacuation process. Now this pipe, as we speak, has crossed the halfway mark, has gone more than 30 meters, what we are learning from the sources, and as it goes further down, the time limit which has been set is 100 hours, 4 days. As we speak, it's exactly 28 hours now as we speak, and in 28 hours we're learning that 30 meter drilling has been completed, and once it goes inside, the NDRF personnel, by putting LED light stickers, they will use the wrenching machine going inside the tunnel, and then evacuate them one by one, which is of course a time taking process, maybe a couple of hours or more, for 3 to 4 hours. But this will be one of the success. Remember, in India, after the Raniganj, there have been only 2 such operations successfully where the vertical evacuation was taking place. Now let's come to the horizontal drilling, which is the 16th day of the operation, facing number of obstructions, number of obstacles, hurdles, and which has literally halted the operation. Suppose this this plastic tube is the tunnel, which has the length of 4.5 kilometers. Now this is the front portion. You see this the piece of mud here. This is exactly the length, width is 60 meters. Now the auger machine was installed here. Going inside at around 48.9 meters, it got stuck. There was a huge net of the metals. The auger blades literally crashed. Now that has been cleared from the pipe. The pipe is already 48.9 meters inside. It's nearly required 10 meters to go. As the pipe is already at certain point, it requires 10 meter drilling. The team of the rat miners, experts who are expert in tunneling, going in the micro tunneling in the mines, they'll enter inside. There's a team of 11. At a time there will be 3, one by one going inside. One will be start penetrating. That will be a 6-hour rotation shift. One will be penetrating, clearing out debris, cutting down with the hexa blade, with the diamond blades, with the gas cutter, with the plasma cutter. Another will help to clear the debris. It will be a time-taking process, but once they clear a way for the pipe, the auger machine will start pushing the pipe inside. It is time-taking, but a safe way, safe method. Maybe in 3 to 4 days there will be a breakthrough, and this 10 meter will be crossed, maybe even 48 hours. It again depends on the debris and the material that will be coming on the way, that will be coming through. Subsequently, this part, like just few meters, consider these peppers and the sticks that I have. These are the trapped workers. Now, nearly somewhere here on the top, a vertical drilling is being carried out. As I already explained, there are 2 vertical drilling. One is for the data assessment. Another is exactly being done for to insert the evacuation tube. The another approach is this way. That is the another end, which Barkot, you see the metal, that's the rock here. Now this width is nearly 500 meters. We have only crossed so far 10 meters. By penetrating this, the team will enter inside to evacuate, but that's a long really time-taking process. It may take even 15 to 20 days. Subsequently, another approach which is being planned by the agency is go perpendicular to the tunnel. As we speak, this is the front portal. The length with this will be nearly 180 meters, and the agency that will carry out this operation, the day has been decided on 28th of November. They will start a perpendicular approach with their machinery, with their logistics, but that's again a very time-consuming process. You're going to start already on 28th November, that the day has been decided, which is a 15-day nearly long operation by putting escape tube inside and drilling it perpendicularly. So, when we consider these all approaches, there will be another approach using by 201 Engineering Regiment, who have made a frame, and they'll be putting one frame by another, and this another take 10 to 15 days, as the maximum speed they have, they could be doing in such kind of critical situation would be 4 to 6 meters per day. So again, that's going to be time-consuming 10 to 15 days long operation. As we speak, there are 2 most feasible options One is the horizontal drilling, another is the vertical drilling. As we speak, the horizontal drilling process is likely to begin manually by the team of experts, and the vertical drilling is already underway. Everyone just praying for the safety of those 41 trapped workers and also the success of this rescue team, who are putting all their best efforts, all technologies, experts from India as well as abroad, putting, every time there's a multiple meetings, considerations, and then the new plans being worked out. But out of 5 approaches, what we see 2 are the most feasible, which is already underway.
Now, while the rescue team is planning to start this manual drilling at the Silkyara tunnel side, there are multiple challenges that that the rescue teams will likely face while executing their plan. And those are the areas that Ashutosh brings to fore here, highlighting what exactly will be the hurdles.
As the two-dimension approach being carried out as far as rescue operation in the Silkyara tunnel is concerned on 16th day, while the horizontal drilling will be done by manually, the vertical drilling is also going very fast, very rapidly. But there could be possibly certain challenges as far as vertical drilling from the top of the mountain to this tunnel surface is concerned. For example, consider this pipe is exactly the 1.2 diameter pipe drilling inside the tunnel. Simultaneously, there is a narrow pipe which has breached nearly 70 meters mark. This another pipe is giving data about the surface, about the width of the surface of the mountain and the surface of the tunnel. Now, as this pipe goes, the another wider pipe being inserted inside by the the mega heavy machinery which is used for the deep sea explorations. What sort of challenges it could be? If it is debris like this mountain on a rock structure, it will be easy to rotate and drill inside. All of a sudden, while drilling, imagine if there are surface like this arrives. There's a rock solid. Penetrating with this by those machines will also be easier, because those machines are competent and as powerful as penetrating boulders even during the the solid rocks inside the deep sea while the exploration. Now, what possibly challenge one could think of, what happened exactly with the auger harrow blades, the moment they started penetrating these metal nets. Now, this is just a module I'm creating here. The thickness of each of these rods. Now, imagine how it was. This was exactly used by the tunnel. Now, that's the curve. You see the arch? Exactly how the auger, when the debris came out, auger stuck here. And because of the width of each rod was more than 35 to 50 millimeter, the auger blades could not, despite being one of the heavy machine, could not break through it. Once the vertical drilling happens, even if this surface, for example, the vertical drill comes from this way and he reaches to this point, it will be very easy for those kind of giant machine to even penetrate through this, to break through this. There are heavy machinery, equipments, powerful machines have also already been sent on the top of the mountain, where exactly the width has been measured nearly 86 meter. In nearly 28 to 30 hours, the mark has reached 31 meters. Breaching this structure in the debris, in the surface of the tunnel, exactly on top of it, could be a challenge, probably potentially creating a vibration, resistance power, testing the machine that will require maintenance of the equilibrium, going against the torque. So those kind of challenges, of course, will be coming apart. Subsequently, what are those could be challenges? Going through the boulders, maintaining the resistance power. You cannot use it. Heavy machine cannot create vibration. Once it reaches to the metal structure, yet again, going with a pace, going with a certain degree of the challenges, that shouldn't create more and more vibration, which will of course a threat to the further rescuers as well as the trapped workers. Subsequently, the psychological factors also need to be taken in the consideration, and those are the anxiety, and of course being 16th day for those workers who are trapped inside. So the time is to keep their morale high, hence the constant communication has been built up with those workers and the rescuers. So amidst of all these challenges, it's already taken 16 days. Now, there is no time frame yet, but they are only hopeful that maybe in 72 hours or less than that, probably there will be a breakthrough. But it again depends on the terrain, on the structure, and the challenges that will be coming through on the way during this operation. Right outside Silkyara Tunnel, I'm Ashutosh Mishra for India Today.
All right, as we know, our correspondents on ground bringing us the exact approach of the rescue teams. One is a horizontal drilling and one is vertical drilling. Both ways, they're attempting at a successful rescue process or rescue mission. Let me take you through horizontal drilling itself. We're seeing it's been done until 49 meters, another 10 meters remaining for a breakthrough. 60 meters debris, of which nearly 50 meters has been pushed aside. 800-meter pipe as a rescue conduit that's going to be acting as the real lifeline to bring out those trapped workers if this mission is completed in time. Then you have the next approach of the vertical drilling. We see 30 meters so far that's been completed, 56 meters more to go. Now, second day of vertical drilling that's just begun today, and the time needed is 4 days, about 100 hours for that to fully complete. 1.2-meter drilling already being done. Now, while we see that this is exactly the approach used, multidimensional approach used by the rescue teams, it appears that somehow there are a few hurdles that they're facing every now and then that's delaying this operation. But likely in the next 24 hours, we could expect a breakthrough.